Can you hear me, Ro? Okay.
Sure. Go in a moment.
No glasses, right? So I can't see anything. I'm blind.
You can wear your glasses. Of course you can. All right.
Okay.
Like that,
Hello.
Frank.
Hello. Much better.
You wear
Okay.
your glasses.
Hersam Acorn Newspapers, publishers of the Greenwich Post, New Canaan Advertiser, the Darien Times, the Ridgefield Press, the Weston Forum, the Wilton Bulletin, the Reading Pilot, the Lewisboro Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Eastern Courier, the Trumbull Times, Fairfield Sun, Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
Good morning, friends. It's The Drive with Denise DiGrigoli here at Hersam Acorn. Did I say it right finally?
See, look at that.
1 week vacation and I'm all better.
You are good to go.
I am so happy to be back, and we've got another great show today. We're talking with my friend Ro Shalala, the co-owner and creative mind. Well, of course, we know Bill, your brother, is with you, but I don't have the fortune of knowing him as well as I know you, of Festivities Events in Norwalk. But we're going to talk about something very important today. It's Ro's foundation called Pass on the Love. And what the foundation, well, we're going to let Ro tell you what the foundation does. But in the spirit of the Daily Drive, we talk about all things that move us forward. What fuels our mind, what fuels our body, what fuels our spirit, creates the life we live. And Ro does something so fabulous for our community. I thought everybody should know about it and experience some of her energy, because she is just an incredibly dynamic lady. Good morning, Ro.
Good morning, Denise. So
Let me
great
shut
to
up.
be here.
So nice to see you. You look fabulous, and thanks for coming out on this rainy day.
I'm looking forward to speaking with you this morning.
So, Ro, give us a little bit of your background. Tell us a little bit about your company, you. I know you service the community. So Hersam, of course, has 15 papers countywide, and we love.
We do parties in all those towns. You name it.
Well, Hersam is a party group, I can tell you that.
I'm sure they are.
So tell me a little bit about the background of Festivities Events.
I'd love to. I am in a partnership with my brother, Bill Califf, and Festivities is really his vision originally, 30 years ago. Bill was a student at Georgetown University, and he actually started a catering business within the university for the university.
So he was very entrepreneurial from the get-go.
From the get-go. And this is something, you're talking 1978, without telling too many tales.
Yeah.
And so it's before chefs were very, chic and popular, but it was really his passion. Mm-hmm. And so when he graduated, he went to work for Texaco as marine analyst.
Well, that was far from food.
Far from food and most unhappy. And so he had the opportunity with my husband and myself to start a business called Festivities. He had the name. And so we started with a gourmet shop in South Norwalk on Washington Street. Uh-huh. And at that time, in 1983, we had the pick of any storefront on the street because it was just the beginning of Sono.
Imagine that.
Way back.
You were in the beginning.
In the beginning. And so we picked a spot, and we were there for 11 years. And then the catering part of the business grew and grew and grew until we really weren't comfortable, should I say, servicing both a walk-in person who wanted coffee and then a large event at the same time, because we were a small company. And
So you
Both-
had to refine and streamline.
Both clients needed to have best service.
Yeah, and you can't do it all.
And you can't do it all.
Right.
And I wanted to do it all.
Yeah, I like to do
love
it all,
the
too.
retail experience. I love people walking in and getting to know them every day. And I love that part of it. So we were very fortunate. We found great space across town. And we moved our business across town, and we've been there ever since. It's 31 years. And so we have
But-
4,000 square feet there.
So there are a lot of caterers out there.
There
But
are.
you and, we all differentiate and we're all unique in our own ways. And I know how you're unique, but I'm going to let you tell me so the listeners can. I want you to paint a picture because you really do fabulous out-of-the-box events.
Thank you. Thank you. I will tell you, I think our tagline says it all for us.
You have a new tagline
We have a
that
new
I love.
tagline, and it's festivities, and the tagline is love of craft, which is really love and passion for the food, the quality of the food, the creativity in the food, and also the creativity in creating the event experience.
And that's kind of why I really wanted you to come on the show, because the Daily Drive is about helping people find their passion, find what makes them move forward, and at the same time help others move forward. So, and I think you do that because it's so obvious when you hang out with you that you're passionate
Thanks.
about what you do. You do
I get
it so
very
well.
excited. I
And
do.
There, I have, and everybody that goes to your events has that same. It's like the vibe.
It's interesting because I'll sit there with a new client, and all of a sudden it will just hit me. I can see the party, and they look at me and they go, "Oh my gosh, she's got it."
Yeah,
And so it becomes this aha moment.
it's the click and the flow.
It is.
It's
It
the
is
click and the
click
flow.
and the flow, and so it makes it every event unique and special. And so everybody works in the kitchen or in the creative end of creating the we have our general manager Mike, who is also our MacGyver. So he creates all these fabulously unique hibachis and grills and all kinds of things we do for events to make them special and to find ways to present the foods in new ways. And then the second part of the tagline is love of hospitality, which is my passion,
Yeah.
which is the guest experience. And I tell our clients and anyone who'll listen to me is that my goal and my passion for the event is the guest experience, meaning, okay, you've invited someone to your party. Where are they parking their car? Where are they? How are they getting into the event
So you've got the
space?
minutia covered. The stuff
Minutia's-
that could make you really sink if
To
it's not
make
covered.
things that make your guests unhappy.
Yeah. We
That's
don't like
what we-
unhappy guests here,
No.
right, Rob?
No, we like people who come in and bring the happiness, bring the joy,
Bring the joy.
spread the sunshine.
Well, wait, if you're going to have Rose food one day, you will, it just radiates joy. Yeah.
Yes.
And
I like the sound
presentation.
of
We're
that.
not even there yet.
You have to love what you do.
You have to.
You
really
have to love what you do.
I'm
exactly.
really fortunate because everybody that's been coming on the show loves what they do. Okay, so I took you off your track. I
That's
apologize.
okay. That's not a problem.
Back on road.
And back on the road. And so that's my part of it. And when we do an event, our clients are fortunate enough to have Bill at the helm with our craft,
Yeah.
and I'm at the helm with the hospitality. So together it creates a unique experience that not only our clients but their guests really, really notice and feel, and their experience is different.
You're modest like my husband, Troy, who never talks about his celebrity clients. And we won't ask you to name names.
Okay, I won't.
But we know that you fancy around with some of the more celebrity
That's
types.
a great term, fancy around.
Fancy
Fancy
around. Well, she
around.
fancies around with you, obviously. That's a good enough one right
She
there.
Well, she does fancy. I think I fancy with her, actually.
No. We fancy around.
We
But
fancy-
you know what? It's really what we do love is the service business. So whether you're a celebrity in the world or whether you're a private citizen, your event is equally, if not more important.
Well, that's what I think about balance, right? That's a constant state of motion. And that's the same thing we say in all of our businesses between Troy Fine Art and The Drive. Every client is equally as important. Yes, the celebrities make the wow and maybe the firepower behind some of the things you get to say and do, but it's really making everybody feel great. And you do that. Now, the last part of your tagline is,
Love of community.
and that's why we're here
which
today.
which is really my thing. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So-
it's really my thing.
So tell me about your inspiration and what you do for the love of community, because we're really on that road to pass on the love right now.
About 3 years ago, on a personal note, I was up at our family beach house in Massachusetts, and my mom, who's now 84, was in the pool, and she's got this group who swim 3 times a week, like Cocoon, and she wanted me to get into the pool. And this is part of the story I always tell because it's important. And I just had this feeling that I wasn't supposed to get into the pool. I was supposed to go down to the beach.
Really?
And I just kept telling her, no, Mom, it's okay, I'm going to the beach. Well, I went down to the beach. It was about 8:30 in the morning, and it was a stunning, stunning morning. I mean, it was just glistening. And there was nobody down there, and I'm walking the beach, and I was saying my prayers. My kids were all over the world. My husband's everybody was somewhere. And all of a sudden, a voice just says to me, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do.
So you heard a voice.
I did. I heard a voice.
On the glistening beach.
On the glistening beach. Mm-hmm. And you can't make this stuff up.
No.
And so it said, you're going to go home and you're going to open up a shop. You're going to call it Pass on the Love. You're going to partner with a women's shelter. And the money's going to go to them. So I ran home to my mom's house and my son was there. I said, listen, this is what happened to me today. What do you think? He said, well, we'll find out. And I went home that night back to Connecticut, and I had a phone call from a friend who was having a luncheon for a woman who ran a women's shelter.
You know, in the drive we say it's serendipitous events, but there are no chance coincidences.
No chance coincidences.
You had called that in.
And it just started to snowball. And I had lunch with her the next day and met Donna from Emerge, which is a wonderful program in Stratford that provides housing and training for women coming out of the shelters. Mm-hmm. And so our first foray into our foundation was we did something called a croquet fete.
Croquet fete?
A croquet fete.
Wow.
And so people would have a croquet party at their house and invite 10 or 15 people. They would pay for it, whatever it was, snacks and beverages. Then we'd all met at a tent that I had donated by Stanford Tent to hear Donna speak and to have a tea party donated by Festivities. And we raised about $15,000 that day, but I had everything donated. So we had no expenses.
That's an entrepreneur being resourceful.
It's really
and
about being resourceful.
Happening for a reason and happening like you called it in, like we said. It was meant to be.
And
not to sound
everybody
kitschy.
I called for the donation said yes right away. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to cajole. I didn't have to do any of those things. And so since then, we have kind of evolved because we opened up the store, the Sono Marketplace, and it was so well received, but unfortunately after a year, the entire marketplace closed down.
Oh, that's too bad.
Which left us, it was very sad. We had a cafe there, and it was a wonderful concept that unfortunately hit financial issues as a concept, so they closed it down. And so we left there.
So we're going to get ready to take a break. I want our listeners to know that Ro and I are inviting you to join the conversation. There's a lot more good creativity, passion, and purpose and repurpose coming your way. Give us a jingle on 203-422-9055.
For 422-9055.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Kick this girl off.
I thought you'd been on vacation.
442-9055. Follow us on Twitter, Festivities CT, and Denise DiGrigoli, and
Hersam Radio.
Hey, if you can't, there's enough ways to follow us down the road and back. We'll see you in about a minute. Thanks so much.
Breaks, sprains, injuries, and pain can now be quickly and expertly treated at Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Why wait hours in the ER? Save a trip and save money going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast!
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the award season event, now through April 30th.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
We're back with The Drive and Denise DiGrigoli here at Hersam Acorn, and my guest is Ro Shalala of Festivities Events, and we're talking about Pass on the Love, her foundation. I hear we have a call. Is that true?
That's just a rumor. No, I'm kidding. We have a call. Go ahead.
Okay. Caller, you're on the line. Hello?
Hello? Oh.
We lost caller?
We lost the caller.
Caller, please call back. Okay. The number is 203-442-9055, or Twitter us your questions. We're here. Okay, Rose, so now you've had this beautiful spiritual experience at the beach, and you've come back and told your family, and you started this store that repurposed things from celebrations. Exactly. And then the store, not you, but the place you were renting in, hit financial strife, and the store has since closed.
Right. And just for a minute, I'll backtrack. Excuse me. Everything in the store was donated by people who had had celebrations or who had family heirlooms or things they wanted to share with other people. So if you'd had a wedding or bar mitzvah or a birthday party and you'd bought all this great stuff for your tabletop and you didn't want to put it in the basement where everything goes.
And never used
again. Oh, there it is. You could donate it, get a tax write-off, and then that item would then find a new home. And the whole idea of Pass on the Love was that you bought it in love.
Yes.
For something that you loved, and that you then passed it on in love for somebody else to use. And so this item kept getting a new life in love. It kept getting a new life because it was being used to celebrate everything.
And you know, again, in the drive, repurposing is just about that, shifting energy out so that it not only makes new energy for you to move on, but again, it's helping someone else. And you're sharing with them in such a powerful way that, and if we all did this globally, can you imagine how the world would be?
It really is an incredible way to interact, because on the Pass on the Love website, which is wepassonthelove.org, you have an opportunity not only to donate, but to share the experience of the things you're donating. For instance, I had one woman who donated her grandmother's punch bowl. It had been in their family for a long time, and so but she was ready to move on. And it carried, not only was it a punch bowl, that's what it was physically,
right,
but emotionally, it carried all of the happiness.
Right.
And so that's what moved forward. It wasn't just the punch bowl. That's just the thing.
And I also saw on your site that someone had donated their wedding dress.
They donated their wedding dress, and so that was, again, moved on because she said, I'm never going to wear this again. It could sit in my closet, but I could share it with somebody else.
So in and around that, as your business has grown, and we know that the food industry has dynamically changed over the past 15 to 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
But more specifically, in the past 5 to 10 years, how have you seen the way people look at food, view food, request food, and their celebrations change in your business? Because you're very tri-state centric.
So dramatically.
Give me the top three things.
I would say the top three things is the passionate way people look at food now in general.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks that they have, the best palate. So not only that, but we are inundated with food everywhere, on the Food Network, on the food channels, in the magazines, in the restaurants, in the advent of the food trucks. There's food everywhere. And what's happening, I think, with events is that they want to replicate the experience of lots of different kinds of food. Years ago, you'd go to a wedding, you'd get a salad, a steak, a filet, a dessert, you go home.
Right.
Now you want to have it interesting from the moment you walk in the door, and our responsibility is to entertain you and your guests.
It's all about the experience.
It's all about the experience. So I always tell everybody, rather than put all the money into your entree,
Yes.
because it's just one entree, I like to take that same money and spread it over the whole evening so that you have every 45 minutes a different experience, so that you're always going, oh, look what's coming now.
The buzz keeps going.
The buzz keeps going, and you really take those same, food dollars, and you create something way bigger.
But how does food fuel us? I mean, we know it obviously provides nutrition, and we've got all of the big conversations about GMOs, and are we on paleo, or are we gluten-free?
Right.
How are you as a business owner responding to that? Because I'm sure you get a lot of that. When I was growing up, there was not many food allergies, like peanut allergies in the school. Now it's a litany.
Well, we don't serve any peanuts that are not labeled and separate.
Right.
We don't cook with them in the kitchen. We keep them very separate. We've even had to use different cutting boards at an event to ensure that we don't cross-contaminate.
Right.
And in terms of gluten-free, we look at our menu structure now in terms of hors d'oeuvres and even entrees, and that there is something for everybody.
So
we have gluten-free, we have vegan, we have you name it. And so no matter what your food palate is or your food constraints, you don't have to be embarrassed or worry that what am I going to eat here. And of course, every staff member who's serving knows what they're serving.
Okay, so bring that forward, food as passion and how you connect.
Food is passion.
I know. Well, we're old foodies here, so we know that. But for some people that, for example, some people just use food strictly as fuel, and they don't think about it very much.
Right. I know people like that.
You know people like that, right? And so what do you do to kind of enlighten them? Because it is such a mind, body, spirit thing. And yes, we can get them to pass on the love with repurposing, but how do you get them really to connect other than making it a great experience? And have you really had any crazy requests? Like, what's the craziest request or person that you have? The challenging people. The drive is also about steering your energy and steering your thoughts, therefore steering your actions to create the best. We've all had crabby clients, crabby relatives, crabby this, crabby that, and it's really how we position our energy. I know you've got ways to do this because I know you personally.
I really, it's interesting. I really try to listen. This is not my party, not my event. So someone called yesterday. It's her mother's 80th birthday. And I said to her, okay, what does your mom like to eat? What will make her feel special that day? I'm not going to email her a list of foods. Other people do that. I think that makes us very different, is that I will ask the question, then I'm going to her house. I need to see who you are. And what is your mom, when she walks in, it's her birthday. What have we made her? So I don't try to put a square peg in a round hole. I really try to work the menu and talk to Bill and our other chefs about, okay, Mrs. Smith, her mom really loves this chicken that is, from Morocco.
Right.
How can we make this happen for her? And I warn Mrs. Smith about her mom. I say to her, this will not be her mother's Moroccan chicken.
Yes.
I'm not the grandmother.
Right.
I can make it like her grandmother's. Because we did have an incident last year. The mom of the bride was from Venezuela, and she wanted arepas for the brunch for the day after the wedding. And she wanted to take me to a restaurant that made the best.
Oh, they were making you eat someone else's food?
You have to taste this.
Have a caller?
No, not even that. Eric Gendron, our director, was letting me know that we have some pictures of the food that we can put up on our web stream.
Well, we would love that, wouldn't
That'd be
you?
awesome.
So Eric is going to put them up, and I said I would cue both of you that we were going to do that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So
yeah, Well, I will say that, Ro, I've been at many of your events, and the presentation is
Thank you.
to die
I can't
for.
take credit for that because it's a really wonderful team. Everybody, we actually go into the warehouse and we preset and we design together.
Yeah.
And so it's everybody's thought to go into it, and I'm the lucky one that gets to stand up and say, "Oh, here we are," you know. But
Right.
my hands are not the only hands.
Well, no, and I say that all the time. You know, it takes many
It
hands.
takes a village.
It takes a village. And maybe you and I are sort of the front lines for our firms, but
Right.
we know that without
them, it's
without the other people,
not happening.
we would not be
We would not
upright.
we would not be upright for sure. I would not be upright because they really have my back every minute of the day. You know?
I know.
But I will tell you about that epic because it's just
Okay.
a funny story. So the restaurant was closed.
Yeah.
So our chef went over to her house and she taught him how to make the arepas her way.
Now that is customer service, friends, and
Okay.
that is listening, and that is responding.
And I said to her, now, Mother the Bride, just to tell you, when we made them for you that Sunday, it will not be your arepas. It will be chef's arepas because your hands haven't been in it.
Right.
You haven't touched it. You haven't loved it.
Right.
So they'll taste a little different, and she loved them, and she was thrilled, but that's basically how I handle a challenging food item because I have to really, it's an important occasion, Denise.
What about a challenge? I'm getting some Twitter questions. What about a challenging personality? Because you know what? People get real funny about their food.
They do.
And they get
They
real funny
do.
about their experience. And we're not going to talk about a Bridezilla. Give me someone other than Bridezilla because there's plenty of shows about Bridezilla.
You know, I will tell you, what I've learned and is to take responsibility. Is to, if you tell me, oh, the chicken was X, I'll say to her, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah.
Let me speak to the chef. I won't argue. I don't argue. I think if you have a difficult personality, the first thing is it's like when you deal with your children. You need to validate first that they have a concern. And when you validate someone who has a concern, their need to defend themselves goes away.
Yeah. Very important point, right? I think that 90% of when someone's unhappy is really about them and 10% is about you. Was it really the chicken? Or was it that, your husband just irritated you or your mother-in-law just gave you a rub? Sorry, I do love my mother-in-law. However, the thing that could be part of it. Okay, maybe, because I know you and I'm not trying to give you a shameless plug, but I probably wasn't your chicken.
You know what? I don't think it wasn't the chicken. But, however, sometimes there's something going on.
Right.
That this is not necessarily the food. It can be any part of the experience.
Right.
That somebody has a concern about. But I think the most important thing we can do, whether it be with a staff member or with a partner or with a client or the client's mother, is to validate their concern and not to get defensive. And my client last summer taught me that because he dealt with somebody that they insisted on hiring for one of the elements of the event. And when the dad questioned him about the performance, the guy got defensive and wouldn't admit that he'd made a mistake.
I think, in life, it's about ownership, right?
Definitely. It's about ownership.
And you got to walk up to the lion that you fear the most and stick your head in its mouth. It's not going to bite you. Or as we say in business, eat the frogs first.
Well, there is a saying out there, I made a mistake, I'm not a mistake.
Right. Okay. I'm jumping ahead of my interview now. What's your biggest I am statement? Because the Daily Drive is all about I am. Whatever you say after that is really what sets the tone or course of your life. So, yes, I made a mistake. I am not a mistake. In your business and in your personal life, what's your I am statements? Can you give us 3?
Okay, let's see. I am real.
You are real.
I am, I care. I am a caring person. And I am a loving person.
You really are.
Thank you.
You really are. I'm going to ask my station manager for his IMs after the break, or are you going to give them to me now?
No, I'll think about it.
Okay. You better write them down. So because you are such a passionate person and working in your business, is there any way that you steer your employees to have that same sort of I am like you have just shared?
So interesting because we're working on this new this whole new program about integrating all of our staff and members of the team into a sense of ownership. Mm-hmm. Ownership of every product, ownership of their part of the product.
Yes.
And so, yes, we want to prosper, not survive, not just survive.
Right.
We want to live in the spirit of integrity. Mm-hmm. If you don't have integrity, I really don't want you here.
If you didn't have this company, I'd be asking you to be on the board of the Daily Drive. So careful, bro.
But it's really a question of wanting to build a business built on spiritual principles, not necessarily religious principles, not those,
okay.
but really spiritual.
Tell me the difference between spiritual and religious principles, and then tell me what yours are.
I would say that they're not dogmatic. They're really the basic principles of integrity, of giving value, of being of value, and honesty, and doing our best every day, and owning what is ours and not owning what's not ours, and really looking at our own behavior in every touch point. And I tell our staff, if we look at every touch point in our business, and every touch point is done with integrity, we're good.
We're good. And based on that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, whoever tried to call, I do have a couple tweeter questions, but whoever tried to call, please call again, 203-442-9055. We're talking about what fuels us, what moves us forward, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Pass on the Love and how you can get involved, because there's an upcoming special event that Ro is hosting. Thanks so much. We'll be back in a minute.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season, and we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
This year, 3,000 Connecticut women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Hersam Acorn is a proud sponsor of the Komen, Connecticut Race for the Cure. Help make an impact in the local fight against breast cancer by joining us on May 9th in Westport at Sherwood Island. With your help, Komen, Connecticut invests in local breast cancer programs, helping local women beat breast cancer. Visit KomenCT.org to register, volunteer, or donate today. We race for Connecticut. Why will you race?
Does advertising on HANradio.com work? Just ask Coastal Orthopedics. They ran spots with us, and within 24 hours they had 21 walk-ins and 8 calls to their new immediate care center. To advertise on HANradio.com, call 203-417-5199 and ask for Marianne Hersam.
You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm getting a response from Twitter that we're doing excellent. Okay, excellent, but give us a couple more questions. Ro, one of the questions is, how do you take some spare time for Ro? Because it seems like, you are a serial entrepreneur as well.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your family. I know you enjoy some things with them.
I have a wonderful family, and they have supported my craziness for all these years, because
creative craziness, but really the catering event planning business is a very jealous mistress. And well put.
And it requires a lot more than other businesses, because you're almost as if you're in real estate. So anyone calls you on Sunday night,
Mother's Day, Easter,
Thanksgiving morning, I had a client. Mm-hmm. It's really challenging for them, and challenging for me to let go and go home and not want to work.
Yeah, I have that problem too.
Not want to work.
It's been the resounding theme of all of us for the past 7 weeks.
It's really because it's ours, mine and Bill's. It's really, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
It isn't that you never get to go home and just say, I'm done.
Well, that's what I said to one of my clients the other day. My clients know to expect the best from me, and I deliver that. So I'm always doing something to make sure it's fabulously right. And
It
I know
has
you
to
do.
be right.
And I mean, we were on the phone at 11 o'clock last night, making sure that our marketing was right.
We were on the phone. It's true. I got out of bed and went to the phone. But I love to kayak. I love to be anywhere near the water. I love to be with my grandchildren. I have 4 boys. We have 4 boys, my husband and I. They are 7, 6, 4, and one of them is 3 today.
Oh, happy birthday to
And so
Rose.
today, I'm not going to the office. I'm going to the city and spend the afternoon with Teddy Bear. And
So you make time.
I make time, but there are times when I can't be there.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. It depends on the event. If it's an event where I don't need to be there per se, then I'm home free. I can work with the client and all that. But there are big events where I have to be there, and they know that. Trying to plan a weekend in Boston with my daughter, she lives up in Boston area, is almost impossible.
Yes.
Because, do I go then? What happens then? What if I get business? What if I don't get, So it's just this, it's challenging.
But I think it's good, and we've talked about this before, where it's good that your children see you passionate about something. And in my case with
They think I'm crazy.
Well, my 12-year-old thinks I'm crazy too. But I also think it's very important for your children to see you in good health, doing what you're passionate about, and also being a role model, right? You're setting the tone.
Definitely. Our children do have incredible work ethic.
Yeah.
The 3 of them. They really do. They've done really well. Even our youngest, who's 28, he bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii, and he's living out in Oahu, and he's found his passion and his dream.
Wow.
And
he bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii?
Yes. He bought a one-way ticket to Hawaii. He said, either I'm going to have a great vacation for 5 weeks, or I'm going to make this work. And he'll be there 2 years in October.
Okay, that is talking about how we move forward and fuel our drive. And sometimes you do have to just break free and take a risk and get way out of your comfort zone.
He is the youngest and the shyest. And it's interesting to watch him because he is the gutsiest.
The youngest, the shyest, and the gutsiest. That's a recipe.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I know that we talk about moving out of our comfort zone in so many of the clients that I consult with. And I think people are more open to it nowadays than ever before, because not only are there much more motivational programming going on, thank heavens, and all these opportunities because of the internet that people see real time. If that person does it, I can do it too. So talk a little bit about that and pass on the love. How do you motivate others to get involved? And how do you motivate others to see your vision? And how do you see it working over the next few years?
Well, when we first started, I had to get serious. I had to get all my paperwork together with the government, and I had to really do it properly. And I was fortunate enough to have a friend at church who had done foundation work, and led me to the Pro Bono Partnership in White Plains. And I went there, and I was interviewed to see if I was serious about having a foundation, or if it was a marketing ploy.
Really?
And so I did a business plan in December, in the middle of Christmas season, for the foundation, and they took me on as a client. It was like getting into Harvard for me. Wow. Because they took me seriously, and they saw the potential of our work. And I put together a board of directors, and we started working. And then I think what everybody wanted to be involved with is the fact that everybody, no matter your walk of life, wants to live in a safe and healthy home.
Yes.
And
that's important.
And safe and healthy homes, and now I'm going to get goosebumps. Safe and healthy homes not only doesn't mean without domestic violence, but also with love for and respect for each other.
And that's really challenging because we're also,
we're busy, and also because sometimes we're not as kind to the ones who are closest to us.
Right, because we're busy responding instead of listening.
And so we take them for granted, but it was a way for us to be able to not only talk about the bigger issue of domestic violence, which is rampant in our area.
Especially with the stress.
with the stress, and also so everybody who I talked to really wanted to be involved, because a safe and healthy home is the basis of all celebrations.
So define, I know what a safe and healthy home is, but define to our listeners what you mean by that. It's beyond just, you have not someone domestically abusing you. It's
really about when you walk into your home, how do you feel?
Do you feel great?
Do I feel safe? Do I feel loved? Do I feel respected? You're going to have differences, but is it a safe place?
I'm going to ask you to take a quick break. The station manager is saying we have a call. Caller, you're on the line. It's Ro, and it's Denise with the Daily Drive.
Hi, Ro. This is Barbara Bradley.
Hi, Barbara. Oh, my goodness.
How
Oh,
are
my
you?
goodness. I'm good. I'm so excited to hear from you.
I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
what a great
you.
job you're doing.
Thank you.
Oh, my God.
Thank you.
I just want that. I can't believe you're doing this. This is just awesome.
Thank you. Well, for those who are listening, Barbara was a chair of the Pequot Library benefit last Saturday night.
Oh.
And she has been a past client with her daughter's wedding.
Oh.
And so I helped her with all the centerpieces for the party.
Oh my God! It
as a
wouldn't have come
volunteer.
off without Ro.
And so it was my way of giving back to the community and to our clients. And we had didn't we have fun? We had fun.
We did. We had a ball.
Barbara,
and we couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Have you been listening to the whole show?
I just got back from a meeting that I was at and looked at my watch and thought, oh my God, I've got to get on there and call her before 10 of 11.
Oh,
so I
thank
haven't been
you.
listening to your show.
Well, we're gonna be available on SoundCloud and Hersam Acorn Radio.
Hersam. No H in there. No second H.
If I can say it right, Barbara. But anyways, we'll send you the link so you can listen to the entire show.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank you. You're very sweet to call.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay,
Take care.
thanks
Bye-bye.
a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ro.
Okay, so safe and healthy homes. Obviously, you've got so many admirers, and we know that. But I want them to know more about your feeling of safe and healthy homes, because we take it for granted.
We take it for granted, and I'm going to say something maybe I shouldn't say, but we go into so many homes. So many homes. When you're in the service business, people behave the way that they behave, as if we're not there.
Right.
Because we're there to take care of them.
Right.
And so I've seen lots of really happy families, really wonderful people. Once in a while, I'll see something that makes me really sad.
Yes.
And so I just find it really vital that for all of the largesse in our area, for all of the wonderful things we have opportunities to do and have, that the basis of every successful, loving family is to feel safe when you walk into the house.
And so your foundation is having an event. Tell me about the event.
We are supporting right now the Center for Family Justice. The Center for Family Justice was the Center for Women and Children in Bridgeport. And they have evolved and are becoming the Center for Family Justice. It is a model out of San Diego, California, now global. It's a model that will allow, when a woman is in crisis, to come to the center and have everything that she needs under one roof.
Right.
Rather than have to go to 14 different agencies, try to get her kids on a bus or walk or find a way. And usually what happens to them is they fall through the cracks because it's too hard.
Right.
So I am extremely honored to be supporting the center, along with my brother Bill and Festivities, in their work. And so they are opening formally in October. I'm working with them in working on the gala as a volunteer. And so the event on May 7th is called Into the Woods.
May 7th, friends.
At Lily and August Design Center in Norwalk. We have, Festivities has a cafe at the Design Center. And I was there one day, and they have these tables that are like slices of redwood trees.
Yeah, they're
stunning.
gorgeous.
And so I said, oh, look at this. We're going to make a party, and we're going to do Into the Woods and do all of this into the woods.
Your creative mind was zinging along.
I was zinging along. And so Lily and August are very philanthropic. And so I approached them, and they said, you can have the space and the tables and the chairs. And not only that, now they're going to actually help me create the woods in the area. So it's on May 7th from 7 to 10. And it's going to be really a spectacular evening. I'm hoping that Mrs. Malloy will be there, the governor's wife. She is a long supporter of women's issues. She actually, when he was the mayor of Stamford, she ran the Rape Crisis Center for 10 years.
Wow, I didn't know that about her.
This is one of her really main passions, is women's issues and the domestic violence issues. And so,
if people want to get on the invitation list, Ro, is there a way to do that?
They can email me at ro@festivitiesevents.com, and I will make sure that they get one.
Okay.
Seats are limited.
Yeah, because it is limited seating.
We have 125 because of space issues. And it's going to be a foraging menu. Bill's creating a really into the woods menu with cocktails and hors d'oeuvres and a 3-course dinner. And
is it a sit-down dinner?
Sit-down dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be a magical evening.
It's going to be a magical evening. I just think it's going to be like fairies. It's going to be so wonderful. So the tickets are $125 with $50 for every ticket going directly to the center. We're going to have a giving tree in the woods.
Wow.
So people can actually donate items that the center needs. And so I'm very excited about this opportunity to be part of that community and to really give in this way.
Okay. So who are your biggest supporters, and personally and professionally, with all of the things that you do? I say in the daily drive, it's the passengers that ride in our car that give us the most energy, not the nasty hitchhikers that don't belong. Who are the people that give you the biggest support?
I would say that my family, my husband, because it's really tons of hours. And I would say my brother Bill, because I'll come up with a crazy idea and he'll say, I'll support you. And I would say there are people in my life that I have come to rely on as coaches, as sounding boards, as people who have way more wisdom than I do. Mm-hmm. And I lean on them because it does take a team. There's nobody out there, Denise, who doesn't have a team, who's successful, that doesn't have a team backing them up, that they can rely on, that they can pass things along to, that they can say. And also I must say, I have an incredible SCORE advisor. SCORE is part of the Small Business Administration, and they have retired executives that help small businesses. And I went 5 years ago, and a guy called me and said, I'm going to be your SCORE advisor. And he said to me, I'm the retired president of Godiva Chocolate and Petridge Farm.
Well, that was a huge hit. No serendipity there, right?
And he and I are like soulmates. And he, as a matter of fact, I called him a few months ago, and I had a big issue. And he put together a plan for me. He spent about 40 hours on it. They don't charge.
I know.
But he sees in us something that he knows is worth the work.
We picked up a fabulous SCORE advisor ourselves when we were getting married and putting together Troy Fine Art Services. Our SCORE advisor is the former CEO of Dow Chemical, the Canadian division.
Wow.
And he's literally been with us for 15 years on and off as our business has evolved and turned, and in all the new things we're doing now. So that's a big shout out to SCORE Fairfield, because I can't say enough good things about them. I'm getting the signal, Ro, that we need to take one more break. We appreciate everybody listening in today. I think this has been such an incredible...
Thank you. It's been really fun.
An incredible time. Stay tuned for our last few minutes with Ro. And remember, our call-in number is 203-442-9055. Thanks so much.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
Just because it's no longer boat or beach season, you don't have to abandon your lifestyle. At the Dock Shop, it's beach season all year long. The Dock Shop has just loaded up with many new products that are perfect for the gift-giving season. Fishing tackle, jewelry, nautical-themed accessories, lighting, tableware, and more. Are you heading out for a tropical winter getaway? Come by the Dock Shop and check out styles by Margaritaville Apparel, Montauk Tackle, Game Guard, and others. Stop in at the Dock Shop and enjoy the New England coast all year long. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien. DockShop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the award season event, now through April 30th.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us, we won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
We're back.
Hello.
Hello. It's The Drive with Denise DiGrigoli, and my guest is Ro Shalela. I'm getting some weirdness on my mic.
It's clear.
Is it better?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this has been an incredible 45 minutes, and I'm so thankful you came on.
I'm so thrilled to be here.
And I'm so thankful to know you. You've got such an incredibly positive energy.
Thank you.
And align with so many of the principles of the Daily Drive. Like I said, be careful. I might have another job for you. Tell me about what's next on your list of goals and intentions. I know we did a mind mapping session when we worked. I think I taught a class at Rooms with a View.
Rooms with a View.
Okay.
Right.
We did a mind mapping.
That
I don't
was
know.
fun.
I don't know.
I
what
have mine.
You do.
I
don't.
do.
I'm not going to ask you what was on it.
Okay.
But if you want to share, you can. But what's next in the world of Ro's goals and intentions, and how is Ro going to bring it in? Because it seems to kind of happen to you naturally. That tells me you've harnessed the power of personal energy pretty well.
I think the next thing I want to do is to, it's interesting, is to take my legacy learning, because everything's in my head, and really get it down in systematic form.
Are we writing a book?
I've always thought about writing a book because so many things have happened that are so crazy, what not to do. But it's more systems for the business, because right now we can't grow in a way that would keep within our values unless I find a way to take all of these thoughts and passions and get them into a system.
Well, here's my immediate reaction. I think Ro needs to do video. And then that will help you put it into a systematic format.
It's a really good idea.
And it's easy because whether you mind map it or you video map it, at least you'll get it out of your head. And that's going to be the first step.
That's the problem.
Right?
It's all in my head. And what I do every day now is I take my colored paper, and it's like I'm a visual person, obviously. So I do, when someone calls, their information goes into a red folder, meaning hurry up and get to them. Once they have a proposal, they go to yellow.
Red's
sunshine.
on fire, yellow's sunshine.
And then green, they've booked. So
green
I
is
have
go.
Pink for everyday happy, and I write all of my to-dos on there for every client, because otherwise it's so detail-oriented, I would just forget.
Right.
It has to get out of my head.
Right.
So I want to systemize. If there's anything I need to do really big, is to create the systems that will allow me to get it out of my head and hire people who go out into the event world with our sense of values.
Incredible. And I'm going to roll right back around to my friend Rob. we're coming back to you for your 3 top I am statements and what's on your list of goals and intentions, because I still have a full 5 minutes. You're not getting out of
Actually, no, you've got 2.
You did that on purpose.
Well, I don't know about that. I am. I wrote them down, and I did write them down.
You did?
Yes, I did.
I am. What's the one thing you're going to do to move forward?
Oh, what am I going to do?
I am.
I am going to focus. Isn't the right word, but it's the word I'm going to use. Focus a little more on me.
We've been talking about this for 5 weeks with you.
We have. Because sometimes the gremlins can climb in your brain and they make you think a little differently than you want to think.
The mind chatter.
Yeah. The mind chatter. Absolutely, the mind chatter.
I know the mind chatter.
So I'm going to try a little better to project that the gremlins aren't getting the best of me. I don't know if I'm putting it as well as I want to.
So we're going to say that I am going to give myself an opportunity to take a break. Mm-hmm. Because when we say I'm going to lose weight, we imply we're going to find it again, and we say we do.
We do.
And when we say I'm going to try, that's not making it a priority. So that's how I'm leaving the show today. I am so thankful for this opportunity on Hersam. And to know my friend
H-A-N.
Ro. And I hope that the listeners here today leave with 2 great things. Ro, my first thing I'm going to say is the monkey mind chatter that goes on in everybody's head can be curtailed when you write it down, because you get it out of your head, and once you write it down, it has a whole nother set of vibratory energy or legs. What's the other thing the listener can do to move forward, Ro? Because you are an extremely inspirational person, and the music's on.
I think the most important thing you can do is really to mind map your vision. Because, like Denise said, it's so important to get out of your head, because when you write it down and you see it, and I ask my kids to do this and myself to do this, because what do you want? Oh, I want to go surfing today. Okay, what does that look like?
Write it down.
Write it, but also map it out. Do it like a web, and so you can see everything there, and then you can begin to work on it and remember how to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
And visit Denise's Daily Drive. We're having a mind mapping class on April 28th to set your priorities.
Sounds awesome.
And your intentions. Thanks so much, Rob. Thanks
you.
so much, Ro.
Thank you, Denise. It was
I appreciate
great.
it. Take care, guys. See you next Friday.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.